Good morning, everybody. This week we're going to be comparing two nonfiction texts that have a similar subject. This is a very common thing that you will have to do all through school. Read multiple texts about the same subject and gather that information. Well, what we're going to focus on this week is comparing and contrasting between two texts. Grab a pencil, grab a paper, and make sure to remember that you can pause, stop, rewind, and replay this at any time. So we'll be taking our notes today, and then tomorrow we will be formatting and submitting. All right, let's look up here. I've highlighted this information. A hurricane is a dangerous storm. This type of strong storm has high winds. It can bring a large amount of rain. Hurricanes are dangerous because they are very large storms. They cover a wide area as they move. There are steps to take before a hurricane hits. So we know we're going to be reading about hurricanes. We know that they're dangerous because they are very large storms and they cover a huge area when they move. I'm sure you've seen those satellite pictures of hurricanes. They just cover enormous parts of the country when they come in. And here's the important thing, that there are steps you can take before a hurricane hits. So that is text one. So I am going to take that important information. I'm going to say right over here, I'm going to put notes and write what the topic from text one is and what the main idea from text one is. I just read it here. I'd like you to try, and then you can check my work if you are feeling confused. And here is the information. I got topic from text one is that hurricanes are very large and dangerous storms. And then the main idea is there are things you can do to prepare for a hurricane before it hits. All right, let's have a look up here and see what the topic for text two is and the main idea. There have been many devastating hurricanes to hit the United States. These hurricanes are famous in a bad way. They have been large disasters. So in this text, we are going to be learning about different hurricanes and that they had a devastating effect on the United States. I'm sorry if you hear some barking in the background. My daughter got a new puppy whom I have christened Demon Baby Yoda. And here is my main idea and topic from text two. The United States has had many devastating hurricanes, and the main idea is they have caused a lot of damage. Let's look over here. There are steps to take before a hurricane hits. It is important to watch the news and have a plan. Before a hurricane hits, board up windows, bring in outside pets and furniture, create a supply kit with first aid equipment, food and water. Flashlights and batteries are good supplies to have in a hurricane. The high winds in hurricanes sometimes make the power go out. These are helpful tools when there is no electricity. So I'm going to summarize that information about what you do before a hurricane hits, and I would like you to try and summarize the information too. If you're having difficulty with it, you can read what I wrote. So you can prepare for a hurricane. Make sure you have food, flashlights, and water. Take your pets inside, tidy your yard, and have some first aid supplies ready. Now, if you look over here, it's going to tell you what to do during a hurricane. So during a hurricanes, it is important to stay inside and stay away from windows. If there are warnings to evacuate or leave your home because of danger, follow the directions. And then it also tells you after a hurricane, stay inside until it is safe to go outside. Check on neighbors to see if anyone is hurt. And you're a child, so stay with the adults in charge who can tell you what is safe. They will tell you how to help. So I'm going to summarize during hurricanes and after hurricanes. And I would like you to pause and try that yourself, and then you will see how I did it. All right, here are my notes. During hurricanes, stay inside where you will be safe. Sometimes you will be told to leave your home to go somewhere safer. And then afterwards, you need to stay with adults. Hurricanes are dangerous storms because they are large and sometimes slow moving. There are important steps to take to prepare and be safe during and after the storm. It is important to be aware and ready. Okay, I'm going to do that conclusion. I ran out of space over here. I'm going to put it up here, but tomorrow when we look at our notes, it will be underneath and you'll be able to see it clearly. Just a space issue. Hurricanes are huge and slow moving, and this makes them dangerous. If you hear one is coming, you can prepare. And don't worry, kids, you always hear when one is coming because they are so slow moving. You usually know at least a couple of days in advance. Okay, I'm moving on to text 2 to take some notes and look up here where I'm circling with my mouse. The topic for text 2 is the United States has many devastating hurricanes, and the main idea is they have caused a lot of damage. And I look back over here at the text and I see that they are going to be teaching us about um, different hurricanes that had a big effect on the United States. So it looks here like the first one is Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was a deadly storm in 2005. It hit New Orleans, Louisiana. The storm was stronger than anyone thought it would be. The lakes around New Orleans had too much water and it flooded homes. The damage was so expensive, many people lost their homes and many people lost their lives. So Hurricane Katrina was a devastating storm. Let's read about the next one, Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy was a large storm that hit in 2012. It hit New Jersey and the New York City area. Many other states were affected by the storm, but the worst damage was in the Northeast. Streets and subways flooded, and many businesses and homes were destroyed. And then they finally teach us about Hurricane Harvey. So, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Sandy, and Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Harvey was a destructive hurricane that hit the Houston, Texas area in 2017. It moved very slowly, so it stayed in one area for a long time. The powerful storm rained over 50 inches. It flooded the city and many small towns. Thousands of people had to be rescued from their homes. So remember, you can pause this at any time. You can read about Hurricane Katrina and write a little bit about it, Hurricane Sandy, and you can read about Hurricane Harvey. So I'm going to go ahead and summarize what I read about those three storms. And I'd like you to try and do the same on your own independently. But if you get stuck, remember, you'll be able to see my notes and you can use those. Here is my summarization. There are three very famous hurricanes in recent years. Hurricane Katrina, Sandy, and Harvey. They caused massive flooding, damaging many homes and businesses. Thousands of people were affected and had to be rescued during these storms. And some people even lost their lives. So let's go back over here to the conclusion. Many hurricanes do not bring as much damage as these did. Hurricane Katrina, Sandy, and Hurricane Harvey are just a few of the most notable ones in the United States. So that is the end of our note taking for today. We will take our notes tomorrow and we will format them and we will compare and contrast both texts in a short paragraph. Have a great day, everyone.